Hello everyone, Rick here. We got a new mod pack that I'm starting to play right now. This one's actually my technical mod pack. It's just stuff I put together that I'm interested in. Nobody else has created this mod pack. This is mine. It is strictly tech, no magic, because I don't care for magic. So, oh, excuse me, take a drink of my coffee. Now, you may notice something. My my audio commentary is not going to be quite in sync with the video commentary because I recorded the video and dummy me didn't realize that it wasn't recording the microphone. Well, it was recording the microphone, but I forgot to turn the stupid thing on. So anyway, you're going to be watching what I'm doing in the background. There'll be times, of course, that it doesn't match what I'm saying. So anyway, we're going to head outside here as soon as I get the door slammed in my face. And unlike I normally do, I built a house in the plains, right? And because there's some oil over there, and I'll explain to you later what that is. And I made it out of marble, so we're gonna try living on the surface for a change and see how I can handle that. So anyway, what we're gonna do is we're gonna head downstairs, and we already dug ourselves a tunnel down to the bottom. And as we get down there, I'll go ahead and start talking about the mods we have installed. Anyway, I noticed when I was coming down here and cutting out a hole, we run into a cave, so we'll definitely check that one later on. So anyway, as we get to the bottom, you'll notice that I've already spent some time mining. I did a little bit of branch mining. Not too much, not very much, just enough to get some iron, so on like that, so I can have an iron pick. So anyway, let's go ahead and start with the list of everything that I have. First of all, on the list we've got Actually Additions. Now, Actually Additions, you may remember from one of my other playthroughs. I can't remember which one it was I was doing. It wasn't Beyond. It was one of the other ones. Anyway, it is very good for doing massive amounts of very large storage, auto crafting, and all that kind of stuff. So. Excuse me, we're going to be getting into that definitely. So that's a definite. Next one, Actually Additions is the first one. Sorry about that. I can't even read my own list that I have over here. Actually Additions adds a lot of extra cool blocks. Power generation, adds lasers, allows you to transfer power and items and fluid over lasers instead of over just like normal pipes and so on. Although we'll probably still use pipes. I'll explain that in a little bit. So anyway, right now what I'm getting is some more, some more torches. All right, so, and we already talked about the Applied Energistics 2, so we'll go ahead and skip over that one. So anyway, next one is going to be Aroma Dimensions. Aroma Dimensions, basically what that is that creates additional dimensions besides the ones that come in Minecraft. This one, the main reason I've got this one installed is so that I can do a mining world. Basically, that is a world that is it's always daylight. The mobs that are over there, they are not hostile mobs. I think it's just like cows and pigs and so on like that. So no hostile mobs. Like I said, it's always daytime. So that is something we're definitely getting into when we get a particular piece of equipment that I will need to do the mining. Anyway, after Aroma Dimensions, I got Big Reactors. Big Reactors is one of my favorite power generation mods. Allows me to make a buttload of RF. I really, really liked it. I played it once before that's what it was, Infinity. That was the Infinity mod pack that I was goofing around back with, who knows when. I don't know how long ago it was. But, oh, look, you got some iron. So anyway, I love Big Reactors. So that is definitely something we will be using. Next one is going to be Buildcraft. Buildcraft has a bunch of cool machines. It also adds generation to the world. You may have noticed, I told you I was going to tell you about this later. There was a thing out there that looked like a geyser. That was oil, basically. And what you do is you take the oil. Oh, hang on a second. Be right back. Sorry about that. Excuse me. Anyway, you use that and you take the oil, you pump it out of the well, then you take it, you can use it in machinery as power. But if you refine it from oil into fuel, it lasts longer and gives you more power. So it's something we would definitely be using. Also, Buildcraft has something called a miner. Now the miner, or not a miner, excuse me, a quarry. That's what it's called. It's called a quarry. Now a quarry will it will mine up everything in a set area depending on what I want to set it at. Say I want to set it 64 by 64. It'll go 64 by 64 blocks and mine up everything down to bedrock. So we would definitely be using that particular item in the mining world. Now what I'm showing you right now is called the chisel, which is one I was getting ready to talk to. Chisel model allows you to create interesting little blocks. What it is you take the block that you want to goof with, you drop it into the chisel if you have a chisel on hand, and you can create all those different types of styles of blocks. It's good for decorating, like you've seen on my house there that I did, or my little 9x9 building that I built out of marble. I did that using the chisel. So anyway, that's chisel. It's pretty cool. It's a very simple mod, but it's got a lot of nice, cool blocks. Next one would be the Ender IO. Now, Ender IO has a lot of input and output options for fluids, for items, and so on like that. The only drawback on those kind of things is that, hence the word Ender, it means you have to have Ender pearls. So that's something we'll have to work on. I was never really good at killing Endermen, but I guess I'll have to practice, won't I? Next one's EnderTech. EnderTech adds a lot of Ender IO based technical machines and so on. I don't really know all that it does add, pulverizers and stuff like that, so I'll have to check into that as we progress along in the mod. Next one is extra cells. So extra cells, which I should be calling up here in just a couple moments. Yeah, here we go. Extra cells is an add-on for Applied Energistics 2. And you may have noticed I'm having trouble typing X for extra. I forgot I had my clicker active. So what it is, I had to go exit out of that particular program because every time I pressed X, I tried to use it. So I had to exit out of that program. Once I was out of that program, I was able to press the letter X. Anyway, extra cells, what it does is it allows you to store fluids, mainly fluids is what it is in Applied Energistics, because Applied Energistics allows you to store items, but it does not allow you to store any fluids like oil or fuel or lava or any of that stuff. The extra cells will allow you to do so. So that's something we'll be definitely getting into once we start with our Applied Energistics, which is going to be down the line a ways. So anyway, that's what the extra cells is for. Excuse me. So next one is going to be fast leaf decay. You guys have seen this one before. I know you have. When you chop down a tree, it takes it a long time for the leaves to decay. Well, this thing causes them to decay right away. So that's kind of nice. It's a pretty much of a staple that I use now since I found it. So anyway, that's fast leaf decay. Now, next one is called gravestone. Now, what the gravestone does is when I get toasted, when I get completely rocked by a mob, and I end up getting, kicking the bucket, normally what happens is you lose everything that you have in inventory. So with the gravestone marker, what it allows is it allows you to keep what you have in inventory, and it sticks it in a gravestone. At which time you can go back and break that gravestone and get your stuff back. So that's cool. Next one would be inventory tweaks. Inventory tweaks is, another staple that I like to use, because it has a lot of nice features that really come in handy. Inventory sorting is one of my favorite. You just middle mouse button and it sorts it. That's nice. Sorts and combines. So if I have, sticks in 3 different locations, it'll combine them into one stack of sticks. That's very nice. So that's very comes in very handy. After that is journey map. Now you see the journey map in the upper right hand corner. The main reason I use the journey map is I can get lost very easy in Minecraft. Very easy. So I use the journey map so I know where I'm going. Now here, see how it sorts it? That's inventory tweaks. It does a sort. So anyway, and just by right mouse clicking at inventory, the inventory tweaks sorts it for you. So let's get the redstone real quick. And I see diamonds. So we're going to get our diamonds here in just a minute. I'm not going to get an achievement because I already got diamonds a little earlier when I was doing some mining. But hey, what the heck? Diamonds are diamonds, right? So anyway, put a torch down there. All right, let's go ahead and get the diamonds. And see how many we get. We got 4 diamonds, and then underneath there's some gold. But we'll take the gold too. Gold is important in... which mod uses the gold? Buildcraft? I think it's Buildcraft is important to use the gold. Now, you may have noticed also that I'm digging around a little bit, and that is because a lot of times... Well, Minecraft, when it does its world gen, it creates ores in groups. So I have found that a lot of times if you go through and you're mining a specific area, if you just dig out just a little bit further, you're going to run into other ores. So, like here's ferrous ore. Now that's, I don't know how many different ores we got there. Quite a few. Like four different veins of ore, and all off of that diamond spot. So that's pretty good. It's pretty good. So always remember to mine around a little bit when you find something. So anyway, after the journey, the next one we have is called light level. Okay, light level. What it does. Okay, so there you go. Now that was an example of what inventory tweaks does. You see that my pick broke, and rather than me having to go into my inventory to get the pick and put it in my hand, it automatically puts it in the hand for me, so I don't have to worry about doing it manually. Anyway, light level, what it does is it'll put a number down on the floor telling me what the light level is in a particular area. Alright, and that comes in handy because it'll help you decide whether or not, when you're building, whether or not you have enough light in your area to keep mobs from spawning. So let me go ahead and kick it on here. Hold on. See, it's F4, I think, is the button for it. Yep, okay, so there it is. Now, as you see, as you get further and further away from the torch, the light level goes down and down and down. Okay, so as long as we're green, that means it's bright enough that mobs won't spawn. Okay, now there, as you can see, there's a 7, and it's in red. Now that means that that's dark enough that the mobs can spawn. So you have to put in another torch, right? And it changes. Okay, so it changes over to light level 14, and then no mobs can spawn in that area. All right, so you just toggle that on and off as you need it. So that comes in very handy. Another case of always mining around a little bit so you can see if you come across anything. So now what we'll do here is, as you can see, it's not really dark enough down in here, but I'm going to go ahead and close it up just to play it safe. So we don't want any mobs to spawn down here after I close it up, and then we got to sit there and listen to them make all kinds of noise underground. That's very irritating. So let's go ahead and close this all up. Okay. Move torch. These torches don't belong there. That's where they belong. Oh, more gold. So let's go ahead and get the gold. Okay, there we go. Go ahead and look around and see. Nope, I didn't see anything else. All right, so let's go ahead and continue digging. Next one down on our list is logistics pipes. Now what logistics pipes does is it adds extra pipes and so on that are kind of hooked into the Buildcraft pipes. It allows you to do different things that you, additional pipes and so on for Buildcraft. Some of them are pretty cool. You know, you got different machines up there. Oop, I hope I spelled it right, wouldn't it? Soldering stations and, you know, crafting stations and so on for the pipes themselves. And then you got this stuff down here. These are the actual pipes. And as you can see, I mean, they're not too difficult. You got to give up some diamonds. You got to have regular Buildcraft pipes to create them. So like I said, they're add-ons for Buildcraft. And their pipes. So anyway, next one down is Mine Factory Reloaded. Now, Mine Factory Reloaded, the main reason I put this one in here is for its tree farm capability. It'll allow me to create tree farms and run them automatically, so that I don't have to keep, you know, farming trees all the time, which can get a bit tedious. So that is something that we will definitely be getting into later on. It's one of those mods that I haven't used, so I will be learning as we go. Get this blocked back in. There we go. Better grab this redstone here. Thank you. And block that back off. Okay. So anyway, with the Mine Factory loaded, let me show you what we got here. Mine Factory. Okay, so as you can see up there, it's got a whole bunch of different types of factories. You know, redneck controller. Now this thing here I'll use to control my control my reactor once I get it up and running, to turn it on and off automatically, so that I'm not just wasting it running at full tilt. So we don't want to do that. So anyway, the whole thing is it's got counters and grinders and all kinds of stuff with that one. So we'll definitely be using that one. In fact, I think maybe Redstone, the Project Red, I think may have a controller for the factory as well. I don't know, or not the factory, for the for the big reactor too. I don't know for sure. I'll have to check. If not, I know that there's a mod out there that does it, because I used it before in my Infinity one that I did. So anyway, we'll just go on. Next one would be open blocks. Open blocks. What I use open blocks for? Here, I'm not paying attention. I went past where I should have turned. Anyway, open blocks. What open blocks does is I'm going to use it mainly for tanks, because it allows you to have a tank and they're connected tanks, connected blocks, and you can make them as big as you want. And as far as I know, there's no limit on the size. And then you could use it to store, like I could use it to store oil, and then use pipes to pump it out of the tanks and put it through a refinery. And after it goes through the refinery, stick it in stick it in another tank for just fuel. So anyway, that's what that's for. Project Red, which is another one that I'm using. Let me go ahead and get this stuff emptied out of here. Now Project Red, let me go ahead and get this called up so we can take a look at it. Project Red has a bunch of basically redstone circuitry. Allows you to use redstone to do a lot of different things. Don't know a whole bunch about it. I mainly used it for wires in my Infinity that I was doing. Some of you may or may not remember those wires. The wires are down there at the bottom. It looks better than redstone laying down on the ground. Also, with the wires, you can go up the sides of the block, which you can't do with redstone. But with the wire, you can go right up the side. So we'll definitely do check that out now. I don't know if, yeah, there's the lasers right there, but the lasers is part of Buildcraft. It's not part of. I thought it was part of Project Red, but I guess not. So anyway, we'll be goofing around probably with that. That's more of a late game type thing because you got to have some decent power for it. Next, the one we'll be goofing around with is one called sound filters. So sound filters, what it does, you may remember from Minecraft that I did. I can't remember if it's 1.10.2 or 1.11.2 or what. But what it did is it created echoes when you were in a cave. This is not a feature of 1.7.10, but this mod does do it. So take a listen to the see, the chest echoes a little bit, but if you get over here, and now if I remember correctly, a torch will definitely show you what it sounds like. So hang on a second here. Let me get in a little ways and we'll set down a torch. Yeah, you may have been able to hear that, so let me do that one more time. And then maybe you'll be able to hear it. Hear the echo. Hear the echo? So that's what the sound filters does. You know, it's pretty cool. It's strictly an audio enhancement. Doesn't do anything else. So, but that's okay. I mean, it's pretty cool. Thermal Dynamics is another one I have. Thermal Dynamics is pretty cool. It has some interesting machinery and so on with it. It's one of those ones that we'll get into. It's a fairly early game mod, so we'll probably be getting into it fairly early. Now let's go ahead and grab this iron real quick. Oh, quite a bit of it. That's cool. Each one of those holes represents an iron block that we just mined. So I'm sorry, the purists out there, you Minecraft purists out there. I do like my vein miner. Okay, and that's just kind of the way it goes. So I will still go ahead and make me a Tinker's Hammer. I'll use it for clearing out big areas because it does come in handy. So I'll do that. Anyway, after that, of course, just like I mentioned, Tinker's Construct. Now, those of you who have ever watched any of my Let's Plays of Minecraft, modded Minecraft anyway, I absolutely love Tinker's Construct. That is one of the better mods out there, if you ask me. Allows you to create some seriously cool tools that do a lot of things. And that's all there is to it. It allows you also to do ore doubling automatically. I mean, it's not exactly fast, but I mean, it's faster than it is doing it by hand, I can tell you that. So, anyway, I just noticed something there. Like I said, I'm doing this commentary after I recorded the video. I just noticed that I missed something over my head back there. I wonder what it was. I didn't see it. Oh well, some kind of ore. Anyway, next one is vein miner. So as you can see, vein miner mines out all blocks of the same type of ore at one time. Now, some people consider that cheaty, but I do not, because this mod pack that I am playing of mine, I am playing it to do the tech. I'm not playing it to mine. Okay, so those of you that don't like it, I'm sorry. Next one is Wayla. As you can see, that up there in the upper right, upper center, tells me what I'm looking at. Okay, and then there's another one called Z-tones. What that does is that gives me tiny coal. And I've explained what that is before, and if you haven't seen one of my other ones, you'll have to let me know, and I'll explain it again. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and run over here, and we're going to pick up our ores. And after we pick up the ores, we will go ahead and head back up to the top. And then after that, we will go and show you how my little X program works before we call it an episode. So let's go ahead and grab these. Doesn't look like it was a bad haul for no more than I was mining. So you had a choice. So you got a pulverizer, which I think I can build that. I think I have enough to build that. It requires energy, and part of the problem is we don't have the survivalist generator. I didn't put that in. The only thing we have is a Stirling generator, which is not a very good generator, but that's what we'll use as an early game power source. So let's go ahead and head up the stairs. We'll get up here and I'll fire up that clicker program. There's my grinder. That's my quartz grindstone, basically. So let me get the clicker program started here. Hang on a second. Okay, I should have it about started by now. All right, so what we do is we'll take these ores and we'll toss them into the quartz grindstone. And then what you do is you go over here, and then rather than holding down the right mouse button like I am right now and have to sit here and hold it to turn the crank, what you do is I just press X. And it's just doing it automatically. It's simulating a right mouse button click. So that's what it does. So I'm going to sit here and I'm going to pound at this thing for a little while and do some grinding. Okay. So anyway, I want to thank everybody for watching if you're watching it. And if not, well, I guess you didn't check it out. So anyway, give it a thumbs up if you were interested in what you're seeing, or a thumbs down if you're not. But if you give it a thumbs down, please tell me why you didn't like it. That way maybe I can fix it next time around. So anyway, I want to thank you all for watching, and I appreciate it. And be on the lookout for some more, and I'll talk to everybody later. Aloha!